Everybody, what's up? I thought I'd play some $22 games, and this one is actually the second match in a 4-man, which I sat just to get some action. And haven't played this guy before, but what we'll be looking at is his playing style and board texture throughout the match, and then in the following matches. So I'll fold up my 3-7, not going very far with that. And the minute I see the guy min-raising, I immediately think to myself, tight aggressive, but who knows, that's only one hand in. Alright, I'll limp this and see what he does, intending to limp call, because I think they play reasonably well when we're deep. Alright, so he's attacked my limp, no surprise there. And flush draw on the flop, and I think we'll just check it, see what happens. And we hit our flush, so that's looking pretty good. Got to be careful he doesn't turn up with King 10 or King King, of course, which is always possible. I think I'm going to flat this and make sure no diamond comes and the board doesn't pair or trip again. I know that's a bit weak of me, but I just think I'll also get more chips on the river. That's got to be a great card, surely. For one of us. Hopefully not him. Alright, let's go for a bit more value. The check on the flop does worry me. I mean, if he's got King King, I'm in trouble. No, he's flat called, so he couldn't have a full house. I'll just check what he had there, and he had... Where's the console? There it is. He had 10-5, so yeah, he takes my limp on junk and hit 3 of a kind to my flush, which is a bit unlucky. Alright, 6-7, not really deep enough probably to play this, but I will anyway. And we hit on the flop. Not the sort of flop that I really want to get involved with because it's so wet. Even if my pair of 7s is ahead now, there's a good chance it won't be by the river. So in this spot I'll just let this one go. Alright, no, he attacks my limps because he attacks with 10-5, so I'll min-raise this. And he looks tight aggressive, but and also like he's going to attack my limps. 10-3, I wouldn't play if he raised. I think we're not quite deep enough. I'd be playing that about 40 big blinds. And now min-raising this, especially seeing he folded, it's my min-raise. So he looks a little tight. And the 3x raise from him with his stack size, I can't do anything with that, let it go. Probably would have called a min raise at 10-7 suited, but I'm not going to call the 3x. Let this go, and now I guess we're just looking for a hand to try and finish him off. A decent ace or a king, this will do if he wants to raise. Alright, I think I'll just shove it. I think if I 3-bet, I'm committed to a go and go, which is a play I really dislike. I mean 3-bet raise, I'll just shove. If he wants to call, he can. I think a lot of guys will call here with worse aces. And ace. Nice, 10 would be very funny. Very nice. Well, not much you can do about that. Bit of a cooler. I like how he timed down before he called. Nice slow play, so maybe I'm making that up. I thought he did anyway. Yeah, considering how quickly he checked then, him calling on ace looks like a slow play. And now we're deep enough I can 3-bet him pre-flop. But only if he raises. And he's looking very tight at the moment. Against a play like this, if he was opening a higher percentage, I'd be looking to 3-bet him. But seeing he's actually opening a fairly low percentage, I won't. I will try and sort of just flat or fold. If he was opening maybe 70-80%, I'd be 3-betting him all the time. Insta-call. And this flop. Alright, so it's semi-wet, but I think it's still dry enough that we can get a high enough percentage of folds to make this a good flop to c-bet. So if it was say Queen 10, then I wouldn't c-bet this. I think it's going to hit his calling range too much. But I think Queen 9's just sort of dry enough that it's worth betting, considering that it's got sort of two high cards on it, or almost two high cards, the Queen and the 9. So yeah, Queen 10 4 with two clubs would not bet. Queen 9 4 looks bettable, just. And that's kind of referencing my last video on flop texture, which flops would be betting and not betting. And it looks like this guy's not calling very wide, so min raising him looks like a good thing to do. This is interesting. He's 3xing. Last time he min-raised ace-ace with the monster. Well, we min-raised ace-ace, which is obviously a monster. I think I'll just call it all the same. And not the greatest flop in the world. Shouldn't be the greatest flop for him either, but we'll see what he does. And immediately comes out with a decent c-bet size. Okay, I'll let you have it. Not really sure if I should have folded that, considering that he's not raising much pre-flop. And I'm not really sure what his min-raise and 3x size means, but never mind. And we should let this go. And just keep attacking him. He hasn't 3-bet our raises yet. There it goes. And I think it's EV plus the raising pre-flop. Would also be EV plus to catch a nice hand. Yeah, so when I think about it, considering how much he's folding pre-flop, I think I should probably have folded to that 3x with ace 9. I think that's a pretty marginal hand, and I don't need to play it against a guy that's folding this much. Just like this Queen 10. To the min raise I'll play it, but I wouldn't play it to a 3x raise. Alright, so we've hit this. Obviously we're going to call if he had a bet. And now we do have to be a little bit worried that he's trapping, but we'll bet here. Alright, what's he going to have here? I don't think he would have a king, but he might have checked behind with a diamond draw, so I'll give it up. I think if he's got a king he wants to make the diamond draw pay, but I think he might have checked behind with a diamond draw, so I'll let that go. Pretty weird play from him, either way. Alright, 2-5. We'll have to wait for some better cards. And he seems to have increased his aggression a little bit. Might fold this one up. We've been very aggressive. Even though it's probably EV plus 3 raising. Now and again folding one doesn't hurt. Yeah, I think we definitely need to 3-bet this guy. He's increased his aggression quite a lot. And timing would be nice. Fold please. Good. Yeah, that was just based on the fact that he's increased his pre-flop raising percentage in the last 10 hands fairly dramatically, and therefore it's probably a good time to attack him. Is he going to return the favour? Nope, he's going to flat. And here we go. We were talking about whether we'd c-bet a Queen 10 flop, and I think the answer is no, we won't. This is almost exactly the flop which I said was not c-bettable before. Just check behind on it, and you know, he's going to have a lot of draws, or he will have hit this flop, and therefore we don't want to get too involved in it. He checks pretty quick on the turn. I don't think that means much against this guy. And yeah, he was never folding King Jack there, and may well have been raising. So that's exactly what I mean when I say that flop hits his calling range very heavily. One thing about his time, he does seem to time down on his stronger hands. That's just something I'm thinking may be true. Like, he did time down when he had the ace-ace hand, so it's possible he's doing that. Alright, this looks like a pretty good flop for us to get in on with overpair and the higher flush draw, and it could have hit his calling range, but apparently he didn't as he checks that down. Looked like a really good flop for us. Sort of thing that will hit, as I said, his calling range, but didn't work out. And I think we might be due for another raise. And I might fold this one up, just a little bit wary of raising after I've 3-bet him. I don't want to get 3-bet back, a sort of revenge 3-bet. Yeesh. He bet a very similar flop to this last time. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's also betting the one he misses and checking the ones that he hits, considering he check raised me. I think I'm going to get this in if he raises me. Oops, and he folds. Good. Alright, the old 3x raise again. Still haven't worked out what that's about. Just don't see enough flops, I think, to actually work out what's going on there. Alright, obviously we're happy to get this in. If he wants to raise us, go for your life, son. And ace king versus ace queen, pretty standard. And we win. Alright, so that's that match. He seemed actually to be a fairly decent player. Let's go play another one. Oh, there's someone registered. Alright, we're up against the lucky leprechaun, and we pick up a monster. He limps, not sure what that means. I think I'll just raise it up, see what he does. Alright, insta-call, pretty good looking flop for us. My c-bet size, I don't want to be too aggressive here. I mean, I've already raised pre-flop, just trying 19, he folds. So, still not too sure about this guy. I'll just try limping, see if he returns the favour by raising my limp. No, he doesn't. And let's have a stab here. Just trying to steal the board, because I don't think it's going to hit it too often. And now at least we've got some outs to a queen, possibly a 10. called us on the 9, so that's pretty standard. Didn't think he was likely to have a king or an ace there. Alright, 2 overcards and not a very good flush draw. Normally I'd be betting the jack, the queen or king or ace of spades in that spot. So that's a little bit low, but I was going to get involved in a big pot. Alright, this hits us really nicely, and it's fairly dry apart from the spade draw, and therefore I might just check this behind, let him catch up a little bit and try and get some value on the turn. But at the speed which he checked the turn, I doubt he's calling this. No. So it looks like a fairly big tell there as far as how quickly he's betting. Alright, we can have a stab at this. Don't think I'm getting folded that often, but he does seem fairly tight. And I'd be even happier if he raised me. If I can get him attacking my donks, then I can donk when I'm strong. Alright, so pretty tight, this guy. So if he's a tight player, what worries us is high card flops. And flops like this, even though they're a little wet, shouldn't bother us too much. Now that he's called, not too happy. I wouldn't fire a second barrel unless I had a decent middle pair. Especially with the flush and that 3 and the 2. Well, this is about as bad as it gets. Alright, that's a pretty loose call from him. Bless me. Surprised that he called on King 10 there. Alright, we've got to get this in. There could be a lot of worse aces in his range. Could also be a lot of pocket pairs in his range, and that's what I was thinking of, worse ace king. Nice flop for you, sir. And not much we can do about that. A cooler. And obviously not much point folding for 50 here. I think for full stacks, being willing to get it in on ace-jack is a little loose. Let's see if he wants to rematch. And no, he doesn't. Let's go find. Alright, so I think we'll do one more match against this guy from Brazil. And let's see what he's all about. And this flop, I think, is a good flop to c-bet. Yes, it's a little bit wet, but in general, it shouldn't hit people's. It shouldn't hit their calling range. Stab here on bottom pair. Take it down. This guy looks a little bit tight, which is good. And once again, decent flop to c-bet, fairly dry, only one high card. And alright, so he looks fairly tight. So far, so good. And I stabbed the last one, so I'll let this one go. The Krabbler King 3, best hand in poker. And it looks like I'm lagging a little bit here. Let's hope that we don't lag, that we don't sort of time out. I think I'm going to raise him here. And he calls, so he definitely has something. And now he's trying to block me, so I think he's got a 6 or a 7. And I don't think I'll push him off his 6 or his 7. Can I push him off now the aces come? Yes, I can. Alright, so he did look weak on the turn there, and then that weak bet on the river. So I suspect he had 6 or a 7, didn't like the ace when it came. And then he raises the next hand, which I think is just bad temper. Alright, top pair. And now he's betting again, but we're strong enough just to flat this. Trying to block me now. Oh, horrible card. Ugh. And he thinks he has a 10. Alright, all yours, sir. Not sure if he's bluffing the scare card or not there, but it looks like just simply a bad player trying to block with a draw and then betting when he hits it. Very quick check from him. Would expect him to have low cards, which means this flop's going to hit him, but he gives it up, which is nice. Alright, not calling with 8-3, even though we're deep. Just being a little conservative there in my old age. And this is obviously way too wet a flop for us to bet out of position. You know, getting called by queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, kings, so on 7s. Ace jack's interesting against a guy that's been this tight. Wouldn't be that keen to get it in pre-flop. I think, you know, ace queen would be the worst hand I consider there. Let's have a little raise if he's limp. Good, that works. And he's being very tight here, which is nice. We can just grind him down with a little bit of aggression. Have a stab here. Yeah, it's a little bit wet, but we could get a fold, but not if he's going to check. If he's going to call that quickly. And all we can beat now is air, which he may have. Yep, let's have a look what he had there. What did he call on? Last hand he called on Jack 6. A pretty random call. I'm not really sure what he was thinking there. Alright, here I think he's weak. Just going to call because it's good odds. Sorry about that. Now we've got also nice odds to hit, but we haven't got many outs and we've missed them all. Oh, this is so ugly. I don't think I can beat anything, so it's a terrible sort of call on the sense, but on the other hand such good odds, and he had the 7. Alright, so he's just betting there as pure junk. We know that now. So his leads are weak. We'll keep that in mind. Definitely attack them. Check behind, just because he called me so light on that previous hand that I'm not really going to be trying to take too many pots out of position now. And ace 4, yep, okay. Pretty standard. Alright, we've hit here. He's not leading, so I think he's either very strong or very weak, and it's very weak. Let the 6-3 go, he's not raising much pre-flop. And a little bit of lag from full tilt, up over there. And this time I don't think he's leading to control me just from his bet size. I think he's actually got something decent, he's leading for value there. Not much we can do here. I think we just check it down. And he might well have checked the king behind. He seems a pretty tricky player, this guy. Tricky in his own mind, I think. Put it that way. Insta call. And can we get any folds here? Not the greatest flop to bet, I think. And now we're dead. Now what he's trying to do is control us, I think, with a weak hand like maybe 8 jack or king queen or queen jack. Oh, and he lets it go. Alright, well I was prepared to give that one up until he made that weak lead. So that was a pretty EV minus bet for him, 50 into the pot. Man, $22 level, these guys have some leaks, and oh, I know I'm in trouble here. He's going to have a good hand, and we're going to give up our King 9. This, I suspect, might be Ace King or Ace Jack or Ace 10, and the reason I think that is because he's checked the flop, unless it's Queen Queen. Alright, I've got to call you. You did this all the time. Yeah, Queen Queen. Alright, I was right. I thought it was either Queen Queen or Ace Jack or Ace 10 or Ace King, and Ace 10 or Ace King, I think he might have played that the same way, and therefore my call wasn't terrible. Oosh, we're dead now. Folds my pocket sixes where I could have shoved over his raise. That sucks. Alright, just need to double up, get back in this. Queen 2 may not be the hand. Alright, check it down. We've got some showdown value. Yep, alright, nice. 650. We just need to catch a hand. Luckily he's not putting too much pressure on us pre-flop. This is a horrible flop, and I'm just going to shove over his weak bet here. I know that when he does that he's weak, so I can shove and he's going to fold a lot of the time. Check raise here. Should be a good card. Let's have a crack. Well, never mind. We're back in it anyway with 890. Horrible flop with 3 diamonds. Not getting many folds here. Check this one down. Give up on the turn. I think we're going to shove our pocket fives. If he wants to call on a worse ace, it's okay. They don't play well post flop, and I don't really want to get into a raised pot with them. Can we take this? Nope, we can't. We better hit a 4 on the turn then. So he's not making the weak lead. Is he strong? No, he's not. He's weak. Good. So pretty big tell. I mean, we can basically shove any time he makes that little lead against us. But we need a hand. We need that to happen so we can exploit that situation, or we need a hand. Alright, 860. No need to panic. Just need one hand. We'll double up. I think we can just shove this. Nice, that worked. 980, and keep the aggression against him. He doesn't seem to be too aggressive. Good man, folding to our raise. And I think we can shove his limp. If he's limp with a strong hand, good luck to him. And he hasn't, so we're getting quite aggressive here in the end game. Fighting our way back into it, but we will fold 2-6. And 9-2. Alright, pocket tens. Let's try the limp and see if he wants to attack our limp. No, he doesn't. Goodo, take that down. Have a stab here. That works. Didn't think he was going to have an ace in his limping range, and therefore we could take that one down. Pocket queens, just need a little bit of action here, will be okay. Good flop for pocket queens. Here he is trying to control us again. And we don't mind being controlled. Don't think he should be coming up with too many twos here. If he does, he's going to win. Simple as that. And trying to control us again. And if he's got a 3, he wins. I think what he's got here is a weak hand with a club. And let's see what he had there. Get that into focus. He had... King 10, so he had the club as we thought. That was exactly what we thought. He had a weak hand with the club, and he shoves on that. Oh, yours, sir. Alright, so we're back in this after making a sort of call which didn't work out too well against his set, and we've got control of the match, which is good, and we've flopped a monster. Things are now going our way. Alright, no action from him. Let's try. Interesting, I wonder what he's got here. Oh god, not a 7, that would break my heart. And he folds, thank goodness. And here I've stopped min raising him simply because if he shoves, it's a very, very large amount of chips that I'll lose. But I might go into it now. What is he on, like 7 big blinds? I don't like min raising and folding at this stage, but I might try, just because he's so passive. Alright, I can shove this anyway. Snap fold. Maybe shoving. I might get so many folds from shoving that even when I get caught it might be profitable. I mean, you know, considering my other outs. Good-o. Stab takes that down. He's a little bit tight. What's he done to 5 big blinds? Shove this, obviously. Yeah, I think I can just shove against this guy. He's getting so low. But I can't call on 4-2. And nice to get a few shovable hands at this stage. And can't really call on Queen 2 for 4 big blinds, can I? I don't think so. Especially when he's folding to my shove, so I don't really need to make any hero calls. Jack 9 I'll shove. And we're due to get looked up. He's got Queen 9. Jack would be nice. Not many outs. Oh, sick. Does he resuck on the river? No, he doesn't. Alright, so that's a look at the $22 turbos.